Chapter 3472. Hearing Etion's explanation, everyone understood. Etion had escaped with serious injuries. After recovering, he came to the barbarian tribe. He wanted to use the barbarian tribe's power to avenge Jingyu. He had been fighting with the Taishu Holy Dynasty all these years, and that was how he had become the Void Destroyer Marshal. Etion, if you want to avenge the prince, using the barbarian tribe's power is just a bad idea. Blue Merchant said. Oh, does Master Lon have a good plan? Etion asked. The barbarian tribe's strength is far from the Taishu dynasty. In fact, they are a little weaker. If you want to rely on the barbarian tribe to avenge the prince, you can only kill some unimportant people. It's impossible to reverse the case for the prince and punish the people who framed him. Blue Merchant said. Etion frowned. He knew that Blue Merchant was right. Although he was the Void Destroyer Marshal and commanded thousands of troops, he could only fight against the Taishu dynasty's army. No matter how many troops he killed, it was useless. The Taishu dynasty was so vast. No matter how many troops he killed, there would be an endless stream of troops. However, it didn't affect the core members. With his combat power, it was impossible for him to kill his way to the Taigzu dynasty. Although his combat power was strong, there were many in the Taishu dynasty who could match him. If you want to avenge the prince, you have to do it from within the Taishu dynasty. Find out the truth from within, kill the enemy, reverse the case for the prince, and prove the prince's innocence. Blue Merchant said. How do we do it from within the Taishu dynasty? Etion asked. We have to rely on Lu Ming. Blue Merchant looked at Lu Ming and said, now in the Taishu dynasty, no one knows that Lu Ming is the prince's descendant. With Lu Ming's talent, he will rise quickly. He is now the governor of the general's residence. As long as his strength continues to rise, he will become the governor of the Heavenly King's residence and become the core of the Taishu dynasty. Then, he will be able to find out the truth and reverse the case for the prince. Etion pondered and said, Master Lon is right. All right, I will leave with Lu Ming and assist Lu Ming. No, you can't leave. Blue Merchant shook his head. I can't leave? Why? Etion was stunned. With his strength, if he assisted Lu Ming secretly, Lu Ming's strength would soar quickly. You stay in the barbarian tribe for the time being. You will be more useful to Lu Ming. With the help of the barbarian tribe, Lu Ming can make more contributions. This way, he can improve his strength and status faster. Blue Merchant said, That's right, that's right. Why didn't I think of that? All right, I will stay in the barbarian tribe for the time being and assist Lu Ming secretly. Etion nodded and asked, Master Lon, Lu Ming, when do you plan to leave? As soon as possible. Lu Ming said, All right, I will arrange it. 3 days later, I will send someone to send you off. Etion said. 3 days passed in the blink of an eye. 3 days later, a huge battleship flew in the direction of the Taishu dynasty. Inside the battleship were Etion's trusted subordinates from the barbarian tribe. They were not afraid of being checked by the barbarian tribe. They left the barbarian tribe's territory smoothly and arrived at a remote star region. This star region was barren and lonely. There were not many living creatures at the border between the barbarian tribe and the Taishu dynasty. Everyone, let's part ways here. A burly barbarian said, Goodbye. Lu Ming cupped his fists. Then, the barbarian tribe left in the battleship. Lu Ming took out a small battleship from the Jingyu scroll. It was a battleship belonging to the Taishu dynasty. He, Blue Merchant, and his subordinates entered the battleship. The battleship started and headed towards the Heavenly Chaos Star region. He wanted to return to the Heavenly Chaos Star region directly. In the battleship, Lu Ming looked at a jade token in his hand. This jade token was given to him by Etion. It was actually a map. On the map, there were a series of locations where the barbarian tribe troops were stationed. Every location of the barbarian tribe troops was clearly marked. With this map, Lu Ming knew the barbarian tribe's troops like the back of his hand. He could defeat them one by one. This was given to Lu Ming by Etion, so that Lu Ming could quickly accumulate merits. In addition, Etion also told Lu Ming a secret. Etion had a secret base in the Taishu dynasty. If Lu Ming wanted to contact him in the future, he could pass the message from that secret base. With this, I believe I can be promoted to the Marquis Mansion soon, Lu Ming whispered, revealing a confident expression. After some time, Lu Ming and the others finally returned to the Hidden Dragon Mansion in the Heavenly Chaos Star region. The Mansion Master is back. The Mansion Master is fine. Suddenly, the Hidden Dragon Mansion was in an uproar. They were extremely excited. Yuan Song quickly came out to greet them. Haha, Mansion Master, I knew you would be fine. The Mansion Master is blessed. How could anything happen to him so easily? Yuan Song grinned, his face full of joy. Senior Yuan Song. Lu Ming smiled and greeted Yuan Song and the others. He then looked around and asked, "Where's Autumn Moon? Why isn't she here? Is she in seclusion?" Normally, when Lu Ming returned after such a long time, Autumn Moon would have come out to see him. Autumn Moon. Hearing Lu Ming ask about Autumn Moon, Yuan Song's face darkened. He didn't dare to look into Lu Ming's eyes. Lu Ming's heart trembled. He had a bad premonition. What's wrong with Autumn Moon? Tell me. Lu Ming shouted coldly with a commanding tone. He was really anxious. Mansion Master, more than 100 years ago, the 8th Barbarian Exterminating Army sent news that you had died in battle. Miss Autumn Moon panicked and said she didn't believe that you had died in battle. She went to the barbarian tribe's territory alone to look for you. Yuan Song said. What? Lu Ming was shocked and his face turned pale. Autumn Moon went to the barbarian tribe's territory alone? How could that be? With Autumn Moon's cultivation, wouldn't it be dangerous for her to go to the barbarian tribe's territory alone? Yuan Song, why didn't you stop her? Lu Ming shouted with a cold expression. Mansion Master, I did stop her, but I couldn't stop her forever. Miss Autumn Moon sneaked away when I wasn't paying attention. Sigh. Yuan Song sighed helplessly. Autumn Moon. Lu Ming whispered. In fact, he knew that he couldn't stop her. He knew Autumn Moon's personality very well. Although she was obedient in front of him, she was very stubborn. Once she decided on something, no one could persuade her other than him, Lu Yuntian, or Li Ping. When she heard that Lu Ming had died in battle, she would definitely go to find him. Autumn Moon, you'll be fine, Lu Ming whispered and left immediately. He went to Etian's secret base in the Taishu dynasty. Now, he could only rely on Etian. He wanted Etian to help him find out about Autumn Moon in the barbarian tribe. Etian had great influence in the barbarian tribe. If Etian couldn't find anything, it would be useless no matter how anxious he was. Even if he went to the barbarian tribe's territory personally, it would be useless. Instead, he would get himself involved. Everything went smoothly. Lu Ming successfully passed the news to Etian. Now, he could only wait. Chapter 3473. A few months later, Lu Ming received news from Etian. Etian said that he had sent people to investigate. No one had ever seen Autumn Moon in the barbarian tribe. Etian said that Autumn Moon might not have gone to the barbarian tribe. He didn't go to the barbarian tribe? What's going on? Lu Ming was confused. With Autumn Moon's character, he would definitely go to the barbarian tribe to find him. If he didn't go, there was only one possibility. Something must have happened along the way, causing him to be unable to go. Where did Autumn Moon go? What happened? Lu Ming's heart was in a mess. He was really worried that something might have happened to Autumn Moon. After half a month, Lu Ming gradually calmed down. It was useless to be anxious. If Autumn Moon was fine, he would definitely come back to find him. Perhaps Autumn Moon had encountered some fortuitous encounter and was cultivating in seclusion somewhere. After all, at their level, it was normal for them to cultivate in seclusion for tens of thousands of years. Of course, Lu Ming also sent a large number of people to find out where Autumn Moon was. No matter what, I have to continue. Lu Ming took a deep breath to calm himself down. The next day, Lu Ming and Yuan Song left the Hidden Dragon Mansion and headed to the 9-extinction Heavenly King Mansion in the Taishu dynasty. That's right. He wanted to go back to the Ghost's Den and bring out all the experts of the Dark Ape Fighting Tribe. It was time to mobilize all the members of the Dark Ape Fighting Tribe. If he wanted to accumulate more merits, he would have to mobilize more experts. Moreover, he had obtained a large number of primordial divine crystals and primordial spiritual liquid from the primitive divine spirit world. He was going to start cultivating the dark ape fighting tribe. Everything went smoothly. Lu Ming returned to the ghost's den and told his opinion. The tribe leader of the dark ape fighting tribe, Yuan Huan, immediately gave the order to gather the experts of the tribe. Of course, it would take some time to gather the experts of the dark ape fighting tribe, since many of them were cultivating in seclusion. Yuan Huan, have you heard of the primitive divine body? Lu Ming asked. Of course I've heard of the primordial divine body, Yuan Huan said. Does the Nether Ape Battle Clan have a way to cultivate the primordial divine body? Lu Ming said. No. The primordial godly body technique is extremely rare. Moreover, for a special race like us, we must have a suitable physique. Unless we have the primordial godly body secret technique related to the ape race, Yuan Huan said. Secret techniques? That's easy. I happen to have one here. Take it and have a look. Lu Ming took out a secret manual and handed it to Yuan Huan. Lu Ming had obtained this secret technique from a prodigy of the primordial divine spirit world. It was called the King Kong Raging Ape. Primordial divine body secret technique. Yuan Huan received it. His body shivered as he hurried to read it. The more he read, the more excited he became. It's really the secret technique of the primordial divine body, and it's related to the ape species. Yuan Huan was so excited that his face turned red. This kind of secret technique was extremely rare. It could not be found in the entire Taishu dynasty. It's a pity that the conditions to cultivate the primordial divine body are too harsh. It's too difficult to cultivate it successfully. Yuan Huan sighed. The conditions to cultivate the primordial divine body secret technique were too harsh. Only a very small number of exceptional prodigies would be able to cultivate it successfully. Ordinary people would not be able to cultivate it successfully, especially those who were old and had cultivated it for many years. I've obtained a treasure. It might be able to help you awaken the bloodline in your body. It might be helpful for cultivating this secret technique. Lu Ming smiled and took out a jade bottle. The jade bottle contained the primordial spiritual liquid. Lu Ming opened the jade bottle and guided it with his divine power. A drop of primordial spiritual liquid flew out. Instantly, a mysterious fluctuation was emitted. When Yuan Huan and Yuan Tsong saw the drop of primordial spiritual liquid, their eyes widened. Although they did not know what the primordial spiritual liquid was, when they saw the drop of primordial spiritual liquid, their blood started to boil. There was a desire in their hearts to obtain this drop of primordial spiritual liquid. This was an instinctive reaction. They instinctively felt that this drop of primordial spiritual liquid would be of great help to them. Warlord, this is? Yuan Huan took a deep breath to calm himself down. This is the primordial spiritual liquid. It was left behind by the primordial divine ape. Lu Ming said, What? The primordial divine ape? Yuan Huan and Yuan Tsong exclaimed in unison. The primordial divine ape was a primordial divine spirit. It was the ancestor of all apes. Of course, there might be more than one primordial divine ape. However, as long as it was a treasure left behind by the primordial divine ape, it would be a fatal temptation to apes. Yuan Huan, try consuming this drop of primordial spiritual liquid, Lu Ming said. Okay. Yuan Huan replied with a trembling voice. He did not refuse because he really wanted it. After taking a deep breath, the drop of primordial spiritual liquid flew into Yuan Huan's mouth. Yuan Huan immediately sat down cross-legged and began to refine it. A layer of light appeared on Yuan Huan's body and enveloped him. Roar! However, not long after, Yuan Huan suddenly let out a terrifying roar. His body rapidly enlarged and turned into a giant ape. He roared at the sky. A layer of bloody mist appeared on his body and turned into a giant ape. It looked very similar to the dark ape fighting tribe, but its aura was shocking. The bloodline in Yuan Huan's body was stimulated. What's going on? It's the patriarch. What's wrong with the patriarch? Yuan Huan's strange behavior also alarmed the other dark apes. Many of the dark ape battle tribe members rushed over. The patriarch is cultivating. Don't disturb him. Yuan Tsong shouted. Yuan Tsong was the great elder of the dark ape fighting tribe. He had a high prestige in the tribe. When he shouted, the other dark apes stopped. Roar. Yuan Huan continued to roar. The giant ape formed by the bloody mist on his body grew larger and more solid. Soon, 2 hours had passed. At this time, an earth-shattering aura erupted from Yuan Huan's body. This aura was too terrifying and unfathomable. When it erupted, it felt as if the entire world was shaking. So strong. Lu Ming was shocked. He felt that it was difficult to breathe. He was about to be crushed to death by this pressure. Battle Ancestor, be careful. Yuan Tsong pulled Lu Ming and retreated. At the same time, he said with a joyful face, the patriarch is about to break through. Break through? Lu Ming was stunned. That's right. The patriarch's cultivation used to be at the peak of the 7th level Divine Lord realm. However, he has been stuck at that level for more than 2 stellar years. I didn't expect that he would use a drop of primordial spirit liquid to stimulate his bloodline and break through the bottleneck. He is about to break through to the 8th level Divine Lord realm. Yuan Tsong explained. 8th level Divine Lord realm. Lu Ming's eyes lit up. In fact, a 7th level Divine Lord realm expert was already a top expert in the Taishu dynasty. For example, the heavenly kings of the 27 heavenly king palaces and some weaker heavenly kings were also 7th level Divine Lords. An 8th level Divine Lord realm expert was an expert among experts. Yuan Huan's breakthrough to the 8th level Divine Lord realm was undoubtedly a great help to Lu Ming. Chapter 3474. Yuan Huan's breakthrough lasted for a full hour before stopping. He ended his cultivation. Whoosh! Yuan Huan took a deep breath, then got up. His eyes sparkled, and he seemed to be several decades younger. Yuan Huan thanks Battle Ancestor for granting my wish. Yuan Huan came in front of Lu Ming and bowed deeply. This time, it was all thanks to Lu Ming that he could break through. Originally, he had been stuck at peak 7th level Divine Lord for more than 2 stellar years and might not be able to break through in his lifetime. This time, it was all thanks to Lu Ming's primordial spirit liquid that he could break through in one go. He was sincerely grateful to Lu Ming. Don't mention it. How is it? Can you cultivate the primordial divine body now? Lu Ming asked. After absorbing the primordial spirit liquid, the bloodline in the depths of my body has already been stimulated. Cultivating the primordial divine body is absolutely no problem. Yuan Huan said, glowing with energy. Cultivation breaking through to 8th level Divine Lord, plus cultivating the primordial divine body. His combat strength had skyrocketed by God knows how many times compared to before. From now on, there were extremely few who could defeat him in the Taishu dynasty. Apart from those terrifying existences at 9th level Divine Lord and above, virtually no one could match him. Battle Ancestor. By the side, Yuan Tsong stared at Lu Ming with fiery eyes, wanting to speak but hesitating. Haha, Yuan Tsong, you naturally won't be left out. Take it. Lu Ming took out a jade bottle, and another drop of primordial spirit liquid flew out. This kind of thing, more was useless. 1 drop was enough. Just like Yuan Huan, 1 drop stimulated the bloodline in the depths of his body, and at the same time, broke through cultivation in one go. But that was because his cultivation was originally at peak 7th level Divine Lord, and was just a hair away from breaking through. That was why he could break through. Continuing to refine the primordial spirit liquid now would not have much effect. Many thanks, Battle Ancestor. Yuan Tsong was overjoyed. He received the primordial spirit liquid and swallowed it, then started refining. Half a day later, Yuan Tsong succeeded in refining. Not only stimulated the bloodline in his body, but his cultivation also broke through. Yuan Tsong's cultivation was originally at peak 6th level Divine Lord, and was just a step away from 7th level Divine Lord. Like Yuan Huan, when he stimulated his bloodline, his cultivation also broke through in one go. Good, good. Lu Ming was ecstatic. 7th level Divine Lord, in the Taishu dynasty, that was a true top expert. Like the 9 Absolute Heavenly King, 9 Sabers Heavenly King, they were also just 7th level Divine Lord cultivation. In the past, The Nether 8 Battle Tribe strength was similar to the 9 Extinction Heavenly King Palace, but now, with Yuan Song and Yuan Huan's breakthrough, the Nether 8 Battle Tribe had completely surpassed the 9 Extinction Heavenly King Palace. Yuan Huan, Yuan Song, bring as many people as you can and follow me to the Heaven Chaos Starfield. Once we're there, we'll choose suitable people to refine the Origin Spirit Liquid. Also, take these. Lu Ming waved his hand and 2 storage rings flew towards Yuan Song and Yuan Huan. Battle Ancestor, this is the Primordial Divine Crystal. It can help you cultivate the Primordial Divine Body, Lu Ming said. The two of them were greatly shocked, and their eyes revealed a trace of horror. What had the Battle Ancestor experienced during this period of time? How could he have so many treasures? He was even more unfathomable than Jingyu back then. Of course, the two of them were overjoyed. Lu Ming gave Yuan Huan and Yuan Song 10,000 primordial divine crystals each. It was enough for them to use for a long time. In any case, Lu Ming now had a lot of primordial divine crystals. One had to know that in the primordial divine spirit world, the storage rings of more than 10 mountain lords were in his hands. The total number of primordial divine crystals in them exceeded 1 billion. A few days later, a large number of Dark Ape Battle Tribe members gathered. This time, at least 80% of the Dark Ape Battle Tribe's experts left with Lu Ming. Among them, there were 120 divine lords. In addition to the 11 that followed Lu Ming, there were a total of 131 people. As for the divine kings, there were 100,000. This was a terrifying force. Moreover, Yuan Huan also wanted to leave with them. More than 100,000 Dark Ape Battle Tribe members followed Lu Ming and left the Ghost region, heading towards the Heaven Chaos Starfield. A few months later, they arrived at the Heaven Chaos Starfield's Hidden Dragon Mansion. With the addition of this group of experts, Lu Ming's strength skyrocketed, surpassing some of the Heavenly King's mansions. Seeing that Lu Ming had brought so many experts with him, those who had previously sided with Lu Ming were dumbfounded. Their hearts were filled with shock, and they were even more determined to follow Lu Ming. After Lu Ming brought the Dark Ape Battle Tribe members to the Hidden Dragon Star, he did not immediately lead them to conquer the Barbarian tribe. Instead, he distributed the primordial spiritual liquid for them to refine. Lu Ming had obtained more than 100,000 drops of primordial spiritual liquid. More than 100,000 Dark Ape Battle Tribe members were enough. In a vast and uninhabited area, the 100,000 Dark Ape Battle Tribe members were stationed here to refine the primordial spiritual liquid. A few days later, roar, roar, roar. The 100,000 Dark Ape Battle Tribe members all stimulated the primordial divine ape bloodline in their bodies. This way, they could all cultivate the primordial divine body. Lu Ming was looking forward to seeing more than 100,000 Dark Ape Battle Tribe members cultivate the primordial divine body. When the primordial divine body appeared, the 100,000 giant divine apes would struggle in the starry sky. It would probably shock countless people. At the same time, while they were refining the primordial spiritual liquid, a group of Dark Ape Battle Tribe members broke through in their cultivation. This group of Abyssal Ape Battle Tribe members had been stuck at the peak of a certain cultivation level before they were able to make a breakthrough. Not everyone was able to make a breakthrough. This time, the breakthrough was shocking. A total of 50 peak divine kings had entered the divine sovereign realm. 50 divine sovereigns had suddenly appeared. It would be shocking if word got out. One had to know that the Dark Ape Battle Tribe had only accumulated about 150 divine sovereigns over the years. This time, there were 50 more. These 50 divine sovereigns used to be peak divine kings, and they had been stuck at that level for a long time. This time, after they stimulated their bloodline, they broke through in one fell swoop. As for the divine king realm, many of them had made a breakthrough and increased their cultivation by one level. The overall strength of the Dark Ape Battle Tribe had increased by a large margin. Of course, this breakthrough was a one-time thing. It was because the Dark Ape Battle Tribe had been accumulating strength for a long time, and with the stimulation of the primordial spiritual liquid, they had broken through. They would not have such an opportunity in the future. Then, Lu Ming distributed the primordial divine crystal and the primordial divine body secret skill to each Dark Ape Battle Tribe member. All right, now half of you will follow me to fight the barbarian tribe. The other half will stay here and cultivate the primordial divine body. We will take turns. Lu Ming ordered. Yes. The Dark Ape Battle Tribe members replied loudly, their voices shaking the heavens. Now, all of the Dark Ape Battle Tribe members were sincerely loyal to Lu Ming. They were willing to fight to the death for Lu Ming. In the end, it was decided that Yuan Huan would stay behind and lead a portion of the Dark Ape Battle Tribe members to cultivate, while Lu Ming would lead Yuan Huan and half of the Dark Ape Battle Tribe to accumulate merits. Chapter 3475. At the border between the barbarian race and the Taigza dynasty, in a barren galaxy. On this day, a battleship suddenly appeared. According to the map provided by Absolute Etion, there is a barbarian race army stationed here. Let's destroy them. Lu Ming's eyes flashed coldly. He had found this place based on the map provided by Absolute Etion. There was a barbarian race army stationed here. Lu Ming waved his hand and huge rocks flew out. These were all rest reflection stones. This time, Lu Ming had specially sent people to the Grand Council to get dozens of rest reflection stones. This way, he could record their contributions in all aspects. All right, let's kill. Lu Ming waved his hand. Swoosh, swoosh. More than 50,000 Dark Ape Battle Tribe soldiers charged towards the galaxy ahead. Enemy attack. That seemingly desolate galaxy immediately let out a roar, and then a large number of experts flew out from the various planets. There were at least a few 100,000 barbarian race soldiers. The two armies collided in the blink of an eye. Boom, boom. In the starry sky, there was a terrifying explosion. Then, a huge planet exploded. There were Divine Lord Realm powerhouses fighting. However, it was obvious that although the Dark Ape Battle Tribe had fewer people, they had the upper hand in terms of combat power. One should know that Lu Ming had brought more than 80 Divine Lords with him this time. Moreover, there was Yuan Tsong, a 7th-level Divine Lord expert. There were also a few 6th-level Divine Lords. In this barbarian race army, the strongest expert was only a 5th-level Divine Lord. Boom. Yuan Tsong attacked. His terrifying fist was shocking. With a punch, thousands of barbarian race soldiers exploded. Regardless of whether they were divine kings or divine lords, they were all killed in one punch. 7th-level divine lord. Damn it. Why did the Taishu dynasty send out such a terrifying existence? Also, how did they know that we are here? In the depths of the galaxy, a barbarian race expert roared. He was the commander of this army and had the cultivation of a 5th-level divine lord. However, at this moment, he was so scared that his face was pale. Commander, this is bad. We can't hold on anymore. More than half of our casualties are about to be killed. A barbarian came to report. Retreat, retreat. The barbarian commander shouted. Retreat? Where do you want to go? A cold voice sounded. The ape had appeared above their heads without them noticing. Oh no! The barbarian commander was terrified to the extreme. Boom. The ape threw out a punch. A gigantic fist that covered the entire sky came crashing down towards the leaders of the barbarian race. As the fist struck down, these people could not withstand it at all. Their bodies exploded one after another. Even that 5th-level Divine Lord Barbarian Race Commander was also the same. 5th-level Divine Lord and 7th-level Divine Lord. The disparity was too great. Under the fist seal pressing down, his body directly exploded. Boom. In the end, the fist mark landed on the planet. An earthquake of a few hundred magnitude occurred on the planet, and huge cracks appeared on the surface of the planet. Then, endless lava soared into the sky. Then, the entire planet exploded like a brilliant firework. With the death of the leader of the barbarian tribe, the rest of the barbarian tribe had no power to fight back. They were constantly being hunted down. Before long, the entire group of barbarian tribe members had been hunted down. Let's go to the next location, Lu Ming ordered. With Etion's map, Lu Ming had a clear idea of where the barbarian army was stationed. He also knew which route would not be discovered and which would allow him to approach the barbarian army silently. In the next 3 years, Lu Ming led his men to conquer the north and south. In total, they killed 9 barbarian tribe troops, which added up to a few million. This was definitely a great contribution. If he reported this, Hidden Dragon Mansion would definitely be promoted and become a marquee mansion. As for Lu Ming, he would also become a marquee. The last target is Tsangming Galaxy. There is also a barbarian tribe army lurking here. As long as we defeat this barbarian tribe army, we will stop, Lu Ming said. In fact, Lu Ming had killed so many barbarian tribe members over the past few years. The barbarian tribe was shaken and began to withdraw their forces. At the same time, they sent out experts to set up defenses and look for opportunities to counterattack. Hence, there were not many opportunities left. At the same time, Etion could not go overboard. Otherwise, the barbarian tribe would suspect him. After this, it was time to end it. They headed towards Tsangming Galaxy. At the same time, in the starry sky far away from Lu Ming, a group of battleships was flying. This army was the right wing of the 8th Barbarian Extermination Army of the Taishu dynasty. The commander was Shi Huang, which was the army that Lu Ming and the others were in. I received news that there is a barbarian tribe army lurking in Tsangming Galaxy. Hurry over and eliminate this barbarian tribe army with lightning speed. This will be a great contribution. Do you understand? Shi Huang ordered loudly. Yes. His men accepted the order. Then, the battleships rumbled and broke through the sky, heading towards Tsangming Galaxy. After some time, when Shi Huang's fleet approached Tsangming Galaxy, they saw fireworks erupting in Tsangming Galaxy. It was the scene of a planet exploding. It was extremely terrifying. At the same time, screams and battle cries resounded in the starry sky. Damn it! Someone beat us to it. Shi Huang's face was ghastly pale. When he received the news, he immediately rushed over. He originally thought that he would be able to get a great contribution. He did not expect someone to beat him to it. Which army are they from? Shi Huang asked. General, the distance is too far and I can't see clearly. I can barely see that the ones attacking the barbarians are giant apes. A deputy general reported. Giant apes? Shi Huang frowned. He could not help but think of Lu Ming. Back then, there were also some dark ape battle race subordinates under Lu Ming who could transform into giant apes. Could it be Lu Ming? Impossible. Shi Huang shook his head and smiled. Lu Ming was already dead. He personally sent Lu Ming into a perilous situation. It could not be Lu Ming. Moreover, even if it was Lu Ming, did he have so many experts under him? One had to know that the barbarian tribe army lurking here had 5th-level divine lords. Could Lu Ming's men deal with them? Humph, how dare you snatch my credit? Let's wait here and see who did it. They will have to pay a price. Shi Huang snorted coldly. Even if it was another army of the Taishu dynasty, he also wanted to get some benefits. The battle did not last for too long. Soon, the battle was basically over. Battle Ancestor, there seems to be an army outside Tsangming Galaxy, but it's from the Taizhou dynasty. Yuan Zhong reported to Lu Ming. The Taishu dynasty's army? Let's go and take a look. Lu Ming frowned, then led his men and flew out of Tsangming Galaxy. Where's your commander? Who is it? Ask him to come out and talk to me. Shi Huang stepped out, and his voice could be heard from afar. However, before he could finish his words, his eyes widened involuntarily. It was as if he had seen a ghost. He stared ahead and yelled, Lu Ming, how could it be you? The right wing of the Barbarian Extermination 8th Army, Shi Huang. The corners of Lu Ming's mouth curled up slightly. What a coincidence. Chapter 3476. Lu Ming, you're still alive? Shi Huang roared. He was really surprised. He sent Lu Ming to the planet with the wormhole to use Lu Ming as bait. As expected, the planet was besieged by a large number of barbarians. Lu Ming was bound to die under the siege of so many barbarian experts. As for him, the Shui army attacked calmly from behind. True enough, they annihilated many barbarians and gained a lot of credit. Later on, when he recaptured the planet, he did not find any traces of Lu Ming and the rest. He speculated that Lu Ming and the others had probably rushed into the wormhole, but the opposite side of the wormhole was the barbarian territory. Lu Ming would definitely die if he went there. Over the years, he had always thought that Lu Ming was dead, but now he suddenly saw him. He was really shocked. "Shi Huang, are you disappointed to see that I'm not dead?" Lu Ming sneered. After all, Shi Huang was the right-wing general of the 8th Barbarian Extermination Army. He commanded tens of millions of troops and had outstanding wisdom. He soon calmed down, and a few wisps of cold light flashed in his eyes. "Lu Ming, how dare you? Since you're not dead, why didn't you return to the army? Moreover, you sent troops without permission. You've violated the military rules. How should you be punished?" Shi Huang roared. He directly put a big hat on Lu Ming. "Back then, you deliberately used me as bait to send me to my death? Now you want me to return to the army? Ha ha, how shameless you are." Lu Ming responded with a sneer. "How dare you slander me? You're offending your superior. You'll be punished for multiple crimes." Shi Huang roared. "Oh, and then?" Lu Ming spread his hands and looked at Shi Huang with contempt. Lu Ming's action made the cold light in Shi Huang's eyes even more intense. This was a blatant provocation. "Men, take this sinner down and punish him according to military law." Shi Huang gave the order coldly. "Yes." Immediately, 2 generals in iron armor strode forward and dashed toward Lu Ming. These 2 armored generals, their strength was very strong. They were shockingly both first-level Divine Lord cultivation. Their speed was very fast, and in the blink of an eye, they closed in on Lu Ming. The 2 of them each held a chain and revealed a sinister expression as they roared, "Brat, surrender." As he spoke, he brandished his iron chain and wrapped it around Lu Ming. "Kill him," Lu Ming said calmly. Boom. Next to Lu Ming, a warrior from the Dark Ape Battle Clan stepped out. The void trembled as a metal rod swept towards the 2 armored generals. The iron staff was like a mountain, pressing down on the starry sky. The entire starry sky shook. The power was too terrifying. This Dark Ape Battle Clan member had the cultivation of a 3rd-level Divine Monarch. "How dare you?" "No." The 2 armored generals roared in horror. But in the next moment, the iron cudgel swept over and their bodies exploded, turning them into ashes. 3rd-level Divine Monarchs could kill 2nd-level Divine Monarchs, let alone 1st-level Divine Monarchs. After killing the 2 armored generals, the Dark Ape Battle Clan member returned to Lu Ming's side without saying a word. Shi Huang was stunned. His subordinates were also stunned. It wasn't that he didn't know that Lu Ming had experts in his army. Otherwise, he wouldn't have been able to destroy the barbarian race in Sangming Galaxy. But they didn't expect Lu Ming to be so bold as to kill their people directly. Who were they? The people of the barbarian exterminating 8th Army had a very high status on the battlefield, and Shi Huang was Lu Ming's immediate superior. Not only did Lu Ming kill his own people, but he also killed his superior's people. This was simply audacious to the extreme. Lawless, lawless. Lu Ming, this is a serious crime. A crime that deserves to be punished by death. Shi Huang roared. "Oh, and then?" Lu Ming still said the same words, indifferent, contemptuous, and disdainful. Shi Huang trembled with anger, and his eyes became colder. "Then, I'll sentence you to death." Bang. Finished talking, Shi Huang took a step out. The sky shook violently. The entire starry sky was trembling. An incomparably horrifying pressure pervaded the sky. 6th-level Divine Lord. Beside Lu Ming, the ape whispered. Lu Ming nodded slightly. He wasn't too surprised by Shi Huang's cultivation. He heard that the barbarian exterminating 13 armies, each army's commander-in-chief was in existence above the 7th-level Divine Lord realm. And as the general of the 8th Army's right wing, Shi Huang had a 6th-level Divine Lord realm cultivation. It wasn't surprising. "Come, men, kill this sinner together with me." Shi Huang spoke coldly. "Yes." Immediately, several tens of people stepped out and followed Shi Huang. These several dozen people were all Shi Huang's trusted aides. They were also the strongest group of people. They stepped out seemingly slowly, but their speed was actually astonishing. In a blink of an eye, they closed in on Lu Ming and them. Apart from Shi Huang, the rest can live if they stop. Otherwise, die. Lu Ming's cold voice spread throughout the sky, but what he got in return was only a wave of ridicule. "Ha ha ha, what did this kid say? He wants us to die? This kid has a problem with his head. doesn't take a look at what kind of situation he's in. General Shi Huang personally took action, and he can still say these words. His heart is big enough. Behind Shi Huang, some people laughed coldly to no end. Shi Huang was a 6th-level Divine Lord existence. Killing a 5th-level Divine Lord was as easy as taking something out of his pocket. Lu Ming could actually still say these words. What was it if not a problem with his head? I'll see how you make me die, kill. On Shi Huang's right side, there was a burly man who was transformed from a giant bear. He gave a loud roar and smacked a palm out toward Lu Ming. Then, a black bear paw blotted out the sky and covered the sun, pressing toward Lu Ming, wanting to smash Lu Ming into minced meat. Horrifying, incomparably horrifying. This giant bear was one of Shi Huang's deputy generals. He had a 5th-level Divine Lord cultivation, no idea how many times stronger compared to a 3rd-level Divine Lord. But, facing such a horrifying palm, Lu Ming's expression remained calm from start to finish. He did not even raise his eyelids. Beside Lu Ming, an old Nether Ape fighting race member made a move. It was not Yuan Song, but an elder of the Nether Ape fighting race, a 6th-level Divine Lord existence. He held a giant saber in his hand and slashed out. The saber light slashed out violently, instantly illuminating the universe's starry sky as if it was going to split the starry sky in half. This is a 6th-level Divine Lord. That black bear's eyes widened all at once. His expression changed wildly, nearly frightened to death. He wanted to take back his bear paw, but it was already too late. He only had time to let out a roar of despair. Then, saber light flashed, blood light appeared, and a bear paw was chopped off. At the same time, saber light did not stop, slashing toward the giant bear's head. The giant bear never thought that Lu Ming's subordinate actually had a 6th-level Divine Lord existence. Hence, he did not plan on dodging or retreating at all. In fact, even if he was prepared, it was also too late. Pooh work. The saber light slashed down, directly splitting the giant bear into 2 halves, dying on the spot. Silence. At this moment, the universe's starry sky became deathly silent. Everyone on the right wing of the barbarian exterminating 8th Army opened their eyes wide, looking at this scene in disbelief. A 5th-level Divine Lord Deputy General was actually killed in one move. They thought that they were dreaming. At this moment, Lu Ming reached his hand out, catching a black bear paw in his hand, and said, "Today, there's bear paw to eat." Chapter 3477. Today, there's bear paw to eat. Lu Ming's indifferent voice came out. Only then did Shi Huang react. Lu Ming, your people dare to kill my deputy general? This is my deputy general. This is the deputy general of the barbarian exterminating 8th Army. He has made great contributions to the sacred dynasty. How dare you? Wild Rhino roared hysterically, its eyes turning red. Oh, and then? Lu Ming said that sentence again, downplaying it as if he did something insignificant. Shi Huang nearly vomited blood from anger and roared angrily, "This is a major crime. I'm going to report it to the Crown Prince, report it to the Sacred Emperor, and exterminate your entire family." Didn't you want to kill me personally just now? Why do you want to report it now? Lu Ming said with a mocking smile. Shi Huang's expression was grim and ugly. But personally kill Lu Ming? Was that possible? There was actually a 6th-level Divine Lord existence by Lu Ming's side too. This point, Shi Huang never dreamed of it. What kind of existence was a 6th-level Divine Lord? In the barbarian exterminating 8th Army, to be able to be the right-wing general, the number of 6th-level Divine Lord existences in the entire barbarian exterminating 8th Army did not exceed 2 fingers. Such a character, placed in the entire Taishu dynasty, he was a big shot. One had to know, some heavenly kings of heavenly kings' manners were just 7th-level Divine Lords. This kind of character, as long as he took another step forward, he could be on equal footing with heavenly kings. Such a person, Lu Ming actually had him by his side? And with such a character, it was already impossible for him to want to kill Lu Ming. He could only report it to the Crown Prince and the Sacred Emperor. However, it's already impossible for you to report it. The matter of you screwing me over that day, it's time to settle it today. I'll use your head to offset your sin. Lu Ming's voice became incomparably icy. You want to kill me? Haha, you think that you can do it? Shi Huang laughed loudly. Similarly, a sixth-level Divine Lord. If he wanted to leave, could the other party make him stay? But in the next moment, he could not laugh anymore. Behind Lu Ming, several elderly Dark Ape Battle Clan members stepped forward. Their bodies emanated a terrifying aura that locked onto Shi Huang. Sixth-level Divine Lords. All of them were sixth-level Divine Lords. 3 sixth-level Divine Lords. Shi Huang's expression changed drastically. His face was filled with disbelief. The people from the right wing of the 8th Barbarian Extermination Army were almost scared to death. Shi Huang's subordinates looked at each other and saw fear in each other's eyes. Then, they slowly retreated, did not dare to make a move anymore. Facing 3 sixth-level Divine Lords, if they were to make a move, there was only death. What Lu Ming targeted was Shi Huang, not them. How do you have so many experts? Shi Huang roared loudly and was still slightly unable to accept this. This was a 6th-level Divine Lord, not cabbages that could be grabbed in large handfuls. You talk too much. I'll send you on your way. Lu Ming ordered coldly. Kill. The 3 Dark Ape Combat Tribe members charged toward the Wild Rhino. Damn it! The Wild Rhino roared and turned into a streak of rainbow light, rushing upward. Facing 3 same-level existences, he did not have the heart to continue fighting at all. He could only escape. He wanted to report this to the higher-ups and punish Lu Ming. However, the attacks of the 3 Dark Ape Combat Tribe powerhouses had already arrived, forming an encirclement, blocking all of the Wild Rhino's escape routes. The Wild Rhino roared and attacked with all his might. 2 battle sabers appeared in his hands, and he slashed out several hundred sabers frenziedly. Bang! 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 Both sides collided continuously. But the Wild Rhino was not a match at all when fighting 1 against 3. His body trembled violently, and he was blasted out. Following that, a Dark Ape Combat Tribe member seized the opportunity and slammed a punch onto the Wild Rhino's shoulder. The Wild Rhino gave a muffled groan, his body retreating several tens of millions of miles, spewing out a mouthful of blood. Moo! The Wild Rhino let out a loud roar. His body changed rapidly, turning into a huge rhinoceros. This rhinoceros's fur was green, and there was a single horn on its head. He roared loudly and turned into a streak of rainbow light, flying in a direction. That direction was already blocked by a Dark Ape Combat Tribe member. An iron rod smashed toward the Wild Rhino. Get lost for me! The Wild Rhino roared. Blazing flames spread out from his body. He was burning his divine power and was going all out. He had no choice but to go all out. He could see that Lu Ming was extremely daring and really wanted to kill him. If he did not go all out, he was afraid that he would really lose his life here. The Wild Rhino's combat strength was very strong. He fought with the barbarian tribe all year round and had rich combat experience. There were close to 10 6th-level Divine Lords in the barbarian exterminating 8th Army. But the fact that the Wild Rhino could sit on the throne of the right-wing general meant that he was naturally outstanding. Among those of the same level, he was considered strong. Now that he was burning his divine power, his combat strength had become even stronger. Bang! The Wild Rhino's horn collided with the iron rod of the Dark Ape Combat Tribe member. There was an earth-shattering roar, and the Dark Ape Combat Tribe member's expression changed as he retreated rapidly. How could the Wild Rhino miss this opportunity? He increased his speed to the maximum and rushed out of the encirclement of the 3 Dark Apes. In an instant, he had flown 1,000,000 miles away. Lu Ming, just wait for your death. Just wait for the Crown Prince and the Saint Emperor's punishment. The Wild Rhino rushed out of the encirclement, heaved a sigh of relief, and then roared. He wanted Lu Ming to die miserably. However, Lu Ming's expression remained calm. There was even a hint of a sneer at the corner of his mouth. Was it possible for the Wild Rhino to escape? When the Wild Rhino saw Lu Ming's expression, he felt an inexplicable chill in his heart. Then, he looked forward and turned pale with fright. This was because there was a figure standing in front of him without him noticing. This figure was none other than Yuan Kong. Get out of my way! The Wild Rhino roared. The horn on his head shone brightly. His huge body and the horn seemed to have turned into a saber as he rushed toward Yuan Kongbang. Yuan Song was very direct and threw out a punch. The huge fist print was extremely fast. Before the wild rhino could react, Yuan Song's fist had already landed on the wild rhino's horn. With a crack, the wild rhino's horn was directly broken. His head shook violently, and with a crack, his neck was broken by the terrifying force. His head was almost smashed into his neck. Wild Rhino's body retreated rapidly. As he retreated, he coughed up blood. He was seriously injured. 7th level Divine Lord, 7th level Divine Lord. Wild Rhino roared in disbelief. His heart was about to explode as he looked at Yuan Song in shock. There was actually a 7th level Divine Lord existence by Lu Ming's side. How was this possible? A 7th level Divine Lord could become an overlord in the Taishu dynasty. How could he join Lu Ming? When the rest of the 8th Barbarian Extermination Army's right wing heard Wild Rhino's roar, they were all dumbfounded. 7th level Divine Lord. That was the realm of their commander. Countless people were trembling in fright. Their faces were pale, afraid that Lu Ming would find trouble with them. Yuan Song, kill him, Lu Ming said coldly. No, you can't kill me. I'm the general of the 8th Barbarian Extermination Army's right wing. I've made great contributions to the sacred dynasty. You can't kill me. Wild Rhino roared desperately. His eyes were full of panic. He was afraid. He was really afraid. You've made great contributions to the sacred dynasty. What does that have to do with me? If you want to kill me, you have to be prepared to be killed by me, Lu Ming said indifferently. Chapter 3478. Lu Ming ordered. Yuan Song stepped out and charged toward Shi Huang. Shi Huang roared, wanting to escape in another direction. However, 3 6th level Divine Lords from the Dark Ape Battle Tribe blocked his escape route. Attack! All of you attack! Destroy this traitor! Attack! This is a military order. Shi Huang roared crazily, wanting to call the people of the 8th Barbarian Extermination Army to attack. He brought a lot of people. If they attacked together and triggered a chaotic battle, he might still have a chance to escape. However, no one attacked. The difference in strength was too great. Forget about others, just Yuan Song and the 3 6th level Divine Lords alone could destroy all of them. If they attacked, they would be courting death. No one was a fool. You guys are still not attacking? You dare to disobey military orders? You cowards, this is rebellion. This is a serious crime. Shi Huang roared crazily, completely collapsing. His heart was filled with despair and regret. However, there was no medicine for regret in this world. Boom! Yuan Song's fist landed on Shi Huang's body. Shi Huang screamed, and then his body directly exploded, turning into ashes. Shi Huang was killed. The scene was silent. In the right wing of the 8th Barbarian Extermination Army, everyone held their breaths, and their eyes fell on Lu Ming. How would Lu Ming deal with them? I don't want today's matter to spread. Lu Ming's gaze swept across the scene, and his cold voice sounded in everyone's ears. General Lu, don't worry. Today's matter will definitely not spread. That's right, I won't say a word. Immediately, many people spoke and nodded. They were really afraid. Lu Ming even dared to kill Shi Huang. He was too bold. Would he care about them? Therefore, they were well behaved. Shi Huang died. What do you say when others ask? Lu Ming said, that's simple. We encountered the barbarian race and fought with them. General Shi Huang killed the enemy bravely, but unexpectedly, the enemy was too strong. General Shi Huang was killed by a barbarian race powerhouse. Immediately, someone shouted, very well, let's say so. However, I don't trust you. Swear on your life source that you will never leak today's matter. Lu Ming said. This matter couldn't be leaked out for the time being. After all, Shi Huang was the right-wing general of the 8th Barbarian Extermination Army. If others knew that Shi Huang was killed by him, it would be difficult to explain. However, he couldn't kill so many people in the right wing of the 8th Barbarian Exterminating Army. Many people were hesitant. It's fine if you don't want to swear. Go accompany your General Desolate Rhino. Lu Ming's voice was ice-cold. There were definitely Shi Huang's trusted aides here. If he didn't swear, these people would most likely spread the news. I swear as well. Immediately, a large group of people swore. The Dark Ape Battle Clan's experts supervised the process until everyone had sworn their oaths. Scram! Lu Ming waved his hand. The right wing of the 8th Barbarian Exterminating Army felt as if they had been granted amnesty. They boarded their battleships and left. Let's go back. Lu Ming waved his hand and left with the Dark Ape Fighting Tribe. After some time, they returned to the Hidden Dragon Star. When they returned, Lu Ming asked all the Dark Ape Battle Clan members to cultivate their primitive divine body in peace on the Hidden Dragon Star. Lu Ming was also waiting there for news about the mid-autumn moon. During this period, he constantly sent people out to investigate the mid-autumn moon. At the same time, Etienne also sent people to continue the investigation. Once there was any news, they would inform Lu Ming. Just like that, time flew by. Soon, 10 years had passed. After 10 years, there was still no news about the mid-autumn moon. There was no news from the Taishu dynasty or the barbarian tribe. Mid-autumn moon, I believe that you will be fine. Lu Ming sighed softly. At this time, he planned to head to the Taishu sacred capital to submit his merits. With his accumulated merits, it was enough to promote the Hidden Dragon residence from the general's residence to the Marquis residence. Once it was promoted to the Marquis residence, more people would seek refuge with him. In these 10 years, the Dark Ape Battle Clan elite's cultivation was also on the right track. With the help of a large number of primordial divine crystals, the Dark Ape Battle Clan members' primitive divine body and King Kong Violent Ape Battle Clan members' primitive divine body had improved tremendously. The main reason was that the Dark Ape Battle Clan's physique was too compatible with the King Kong Violent Ape secret skill. In addition, the primitive spiritual liquid had stimulated the primordial divine ape bloodline in their bodies. Their cultivation was constantly improving. In just 10 years, many of the Dark Ape Battle Clan members had cultivated the primitive divine body to the second transformation. Now that the Dark Ape Battle Clan's cultivation was on the right track, Lu Ming could go to the Taishu sacred capital without worry. Of course, he would not go alone. He would bring along a group of elites from the Dark Ape Battle Clan. As usual, Yuan Song followed him while Yuan Huan guarded the Hidden Dragon Star. On a mountain peak, Blue Merchant sat alone with his legs crossed. His body was covered by a layer of light, which made him look sacred and mysterious. This was the power of his soul. At the same time, there was a crystal that floated above Blue Merchant's head, emitting a mysterious light. Lan Shu's soul power has improved again. It seems like he's about to enter the second level of the Divine Lord realm. Lu Ming exclaimed. He had never seen a person with such a powerful soul power. Moreover, the speed of improvement was so fast. Nonsense. With the help of the Soul Mother, of course his soul power would improve quickly. Moreover, this kid's talent in the soul is already amazing. Guillemot said, Soul Mother? Is it that crystal? Lu Ming was stunned. He remembered that Blue Merchant did not have it in the past. He guessed that it was because Blue Merchant had a fortuitous encounter in the primordial divine spirit world that allowed his soul power to break through. That's right. The Soul Mother is a rare treasure in the world. It's extremely precious and rare even in the primitive universe. It's a treasure that can extend one's life. Guillemot said, The Soul Mother can extend one's life? Lu Ming was puzzled. Of course. Do you know why a person's life is limited? A divine king can only live for 5 stellar years at most, and a divine lord can only live for 10 stellar years at most. It's not because their physical body has decayed, but because their soul has withered away. Guillemot explained. Indeed. Lu Ming nodded. When one's cultivation reached the divine king or divine lord realm, it was almost impossible for their physical body to decay unless too much time had passed. For example, a few dozen stellar years, a few hundred stellar years, etc. For example, a divine lord realm expert's physical body was incomparably strong. This was especially so for experts who cultivated physique secret techniques. Their physical body was indestructible and wouldn't decay after 10 stellar years. Then why did a divine Lord Realm expert only have a lifespan of 10 stellar years? It was because the soul had withered away. When the soul withered, one's life would naturally come to an end. Do you understand now? The soul mother has an extremely mysterious effect on the soul. It can allow the withered soul to burst with vitality. Once the soul bursts with vitality, its lifespan will naturally be extended. In fact, many treasures that can increase one's lifespan are used to enhance the soul. Guillemot continued to explain. Chapter 3479. That's why this soul mother can't be leaked. Otherwise, many old monsters will fight over it. However, there aren't many people who know about the soul mother, so you can rest assured. Guillemot continued. As the two chatted, Blue Merchant sensed Lu Ming's arrival and ended his cultivation. The soul mother flew into his glabella and disappeared. Lu Ming, you're going to the Great Void Sage capital, right? Blue Merchant got up and floated over. Lan Shu, you're really good at predicting things. I want to ask Lan Shu, are you going back to the Great Void Sage capital? Lu Ming asked. Of course, I'm going back. It's time to see Linger. Blue Merchant said. All these years, Lan Ling had been cultivating in the Great Void Imperial Sacred Court. This girl was very outstanding. She cultivated desperately so that she could surpass Lu Ming while Lu Ming was fighting outside. All right, let's go together then. Lu Ming smiled. A day later, they set off. After a long journey, Lu Ming returned to the Great Void Sage capital. The moment Lu Ming returned to the Great Void Sage capital, the news immediately spread. After all, there were many rumors that Lu Ming had died on the battlefield. Now that he had returned, it naturally attracted the attention of others. Lu Ming returned to the Great Void Sage capital and did not stop. He directly led his men to the Grand Council, intending to submit his merits first. The Grand Council was very large. The area of the hall was very shocking and could accommodate tens of millions of people. It was extremely majestic. After all, it was handling the military affairs of the entire Taishu dynasty, so it was naturally very large. Moreover, there were a lot of people. There was an endless stream of people coming in and out. Look, isn't that Lu Ming? It's indeed Lu Ming. I heard that he died in battle, so it was just a rumor. Now he's here to submit his merits, right? Speaking of which, this Lu Ming is really impressive. He's so young and has already been promoted to the general's residence. The moment Lu Ming walked into the main hall, he was recognized by many people. Isn't it just being promoted to the general's residence? What's so great about that? At this moment, a cold and disdainful voice sounded. The crowd turned their gazes toward the source of the voice and saw a young man leading 7 or 8 people over. It's Lin Ke. It's Lin Ke. Lin Ke, one of the 9 great generals. Seeing this young man, many people's expressions changed, and some people exclaimed, "The 9 great generals?" Lu Ming muttered. Among the younger generation of the Taishu Holy Dynasty, the 9 great generals were the most powerful of the bunch. The 9 great general stars were all top-notch geniuses. However, none of the people who had entered the Great Void Imperial Academy at the same time as Lu Ming had ascended to the 9 great general stars. Each of the 9 great generals was slightly older than Lu Ming's group. 3 of them were students of the previous batch of the Great Void Imperial Academy, and these 3 were the top 3 geniuses at that time. As for the other 6, they were not students of the Great Void Imperial Academy, but geniuses secretly cultivated by the royal family. That's right, among the 9 great general stars, only 3 of them had ascended to the Great Void Imperial Academy. As for the students of the previous batch of Great Void Imperial Academy students, they had already exceeded the age limit and were no longer an exception. Every time the Great Void Imperial Academy was held, a large number of geniuses would join, including members of the royal family. There would even be princesses and princes who would enter the Great Void Imperial Academy to cultivate. For example, Jingyu back then. However, every time, the royal family would secretly search for a group of top-notch geniuses and secretly cultivate them. They would also invest a lot of resources. Every time, the geniuses secretly cultivated by the royal family would give birth to some amazing people. For example, In the previous batch of Great Void Imperial Academy students, there were 6 peerless geniuses. Only 3 of the Great Void Imperial Academy students could compare to them. Lin Ke was one of the 3 great general stars of the Great Void Imperial Academy, and he ranked 3rd in the Great Void Imperial Academy. At the same time, Lin Ke and the Crown Prince seemed to have a good relationship. Some people guessed that Lin Ke had already sided with the Crown Prince. In an instant, some information flashed through Lu Ming's mind. Lin Ke walked over with a group of people. When he was not far away from Lu Ming, he sneered and said, "Lu Ming, you're here to submit your merits too?" "Of course." Lu Ming replied indifferently, "Kid, what's with your attitude? The chief is your senior." A burly man behind Lin Ke shouted. The chief he was referring to was naturally Lin Quebec. Lin Ke had already established his own residence and family. Moreover, it was said that Lin Ke was about to be promoted to the marquee residence. Lin Ke waved his hand and the burly man kept quiet. "Lu Ming, I heard that you were promoted to the great general's residence quite early. However, it's not difficult for a soldier's residence to be promoted to the great general's residence. Sometimes, if you're lucky, you can do it. If you want to continue to gain merits, you still need to be strong and have a group of strong subordinates. You think you can do it with just these monkeys? Haha." Lin Ke glanced at Yuan Song and the others behind Lu Ming and smiled disdainfully. Yuan Song and the others had concealed their aura very well. Therefore, Lin Ke and the others could not see their cultivation realms at all. This kid. Yuan Song's eyes turned cold. He revealed a ferocious look and was about to attack. Lu Ming raised his hand and stopped Yuan Kong. "Why bite back when a mad dog bites you?" Lu Ming said indifferently. "Chief is right." Yuan Song glanced at Lin Ke in disdain and sneered. Lin Ke's eyes darkened. A cold light flashed in the depths of his eyes. "Lu Ming, you're here to submit your merits. So am I. There's no point in talking nonsense. Let's see who can accumulate more merits." Lin Ke sneered. "Not interested," Lu Ming said indifferently. He then turned and walked towards a huge counter. He was really not interested. With his current vision, he really had no interest in competing with someone like Lin Quebec. After all, they were not on the same level. However, Lin Ke thought that Lu Ming was afraid and did not dare to compete with him. "Imph, you were promoted to the general's residence because of luck. You just happened to have a few Divine Lord subordinates. Now you're showing your tail and don't dare to compete with me. Haha." Lin Ke sneered. His mocking voice resounded in the hall. He then used his movement technique and rushed towards Lu Ming. He appeared at the counter before Lu Ming and said, "Sir, I want to submit my merits." He did it on purpose. He wanted to submit his merits before Lu Ming. He wanted to show Lu Ming the merits he had accumulated and let Lu Ming know the gap between them. At the same time, he wanted to attack Lu Ming and make him afraid to submit his merits in front of everyone. He wanted to embarrass Lu Ming. Lu Ming was stunned. Then, there was an inexplicable sneer at the corners of his mouth. He did not want to embarrass Lin Quebec. Lin Ke wanted to embarrass Lin Quebec. Lin Ke had no reason to refuse. Therefore, Lu Ming stood there motionlessly as he watched Lin Ke submit the military merit. Lin Ke is going to submit his merits. I've heard that Lin Ke has reached the 9th King God layer a long time ago. He's terrifyingly talented. Many strong cultivators have joined him. This time, he's here to submit his contribution points. I'm afraid it's not a small matter. That's right. Lin Ke is working for the 3rd Barbarian Extermination Troop. He must have killed a lot of barbarians. Many people whispered. Chapter 3480. On the counter was an old man. This was a big shot of the military council, his strength unfathomable. He swept a glance over Lin Ke indifferently and said, "Take out your resting image stones then." "Okay." Lin Ke nodded his head. Waving his hand, he took out 6 pieces of resting image stones and handed them to the old man. Then, the old man took out 6 miniature array discs and placed the 6 pieces of resting image stones on the array discs. The 6 pieces of resting image stones immediately lit up. One image after another emerged. In the vast starry sky, intense fighting. A large number of powerhouses were fighting. This was precisely the scene of Lin Kuei bringing people to fight with the barbarians. It was only to see barbarians fall in front of them one after another. So impressive. Those are terrifying third-level Divine Lord powerhouses, right? Right. There are even fourth-level Divine Lords. 1 fourth-level Divine Lord, 3 third-level Divine Lords. This is the combat power under Lin Kuei's command? Indeed astonishing. The military council's resting image stones were very peculiar. From the images on the resting image stones, one could determine the cultivation realm of the people in the images. They could tell that there was 1 fourth-level Divine Lord and 3 third-level Divine Lord existences under Lin Kuei's command. Lin Kuei's talent was very high. There were naturally many powerhouses relying on him. It was only to see one barbarian after another being killed by Lin Kuei's people. So astonishing. I took a look. There were 2 third-level Divine Lord powerhouses killed by them from start to finish. To be exact, there are 2 third-level Divine Lords, 5 second-level Divine Lords, and 11 first-level Divine Lords. A total of 18 Divine Lord realm powerhouses. As for Divine Kings, I don't even know how many of them there are. This is a great merit, a heaven-shaking great merit. This is enough for Lin Kuei's family mansion to be promoted to the Marquis Mansion. Totally can. The 9 great general stars, well deserving of their reputation. The surrounding people looked at the images in the air, marveling endlessly. Lin Kuei looked at Lu Ming coldly and said, "See that? What's a powerhouse? Just based on those few monkeys that you brought, how can they compare?" Finished talking, he even looked at Yuan Song and the rest behind Lu Ming very disdainfully. "Indeed can't compare." Lu Ming nodded his head very seriously. "Ha ha ha." Lin Kuei laughed heartily, thinking that Lu Ming had finally recognized the reality and realized the gap between them. "Not bad, not bad. With these merits and the ones you've made before, I think you can be promoted to the Marquis Mansion. I will report these merits to my superiors. Mr. Lin Kuei, just go back and wait for the good news." The expression of the old man from the Grand Council eased up a lot, and he revealed a smile. "Thank you, Senior." Lin Kuei cupped his fists and said, "Senior, I have a friend here who has also accumulated a large amount of military merits. Please check him." Having said that, he looked at Lu Ming, placing particular emphasis on the word large. He couldn't wait to see Lu Ming put on a good show. Lu Ming smiled and stepped forward. With a wave of his hand, a total of 12 breathing shadow stones flew out. "It's just for show. Do you think it's useful just because you have a lot of rest shadow stones?" Lin Kuei mocked in disdain. Lu Ming's expression was very calm as he said, "Senior, please check." "All right." The old man nodded his head and took out another 6 array discs, making a total of 12. He placed Lu Ming's breathing shadow stones on them, and 12 images immediately appeared. As soon as the images appeared, they shone brightly. It was the scene of a planet exploding, followed by a terrifying battle. This battle was the first battle that Lu Ming had fought with Yuan Song and the rest after returning. They had annihilated a hidden barbarian tribe army, and the commander of the army was a 5th-level Divine Lord. In the images, huge apes could be seen moving across the starry sky. They were extremely terrifying, and with a punch, a large number of barbarians were killed. It was as if the barbarians were made of paper. The Dark Ape Fighting Tribe's barbarians were crushed by the barbarians in a single strike. Regardless of whether it was a Divine King or a Divine Lord, they were all killed in one blow. Especially Yuan Song, who was extremely overbearing. With a punch, a planet exploded, and a large number of barbarians died tragically. In the end, even the commander of the barbarians, a 5th-level Divine Lord, was killed by Yuan Song's punch. Silence. In the Great Hall, it fell into a death-like silence. Everyone's eyeballs were about to pop out, staring fixedly at the images in the air, completely unable to shift their gazes. My God, what did I see? A 4th-level Divine Lord existence was blown up with a punch. Not just a 4th-level Divine Lord. Even a 5th-level Divine Lord was blown up with a punch. That monkey, no, that senior ape Divine Lord blew up a planet with a punch, blowing up a 5th-level Divine Lord barbarian. What kind of strength is this? 7th-level Divine Lord, It's definitely a 7th level Divine Lord. There's no mistake. This old man was once fortunate enough to see a 7th level Divine Lord Marshal take action. What? 7th level Divine Lord? After the silence, it was a hubbub. The great hall fell into a clamor. Lin Kuei was completely stunned, his eyes wide open, and his mouth wide open until it could swallow a goose egg. Following that, his body started trembling, and his eyes were bloodshot. Impossible. This is impossible, Lin Kuei muttered to himself, finding it hard to believe. Lu Ming, a student who just joined the Great Void Imperial family's Sacred Academy this year, how could he possibly have such powerful subordinates? But very soon, the scene in the air changed again, becoming another great battle. This great battle similarly ended in a crushing manner. It was no different from the first battle. The apes similarly displayed unparalleled tyrannical combat power, easily killing the other party's commander. The scene in the air continuously changed, while inside the great hall, it recovered silence once more. There was not the slightest bit of sound. Everyone was watching seriously. The scene changed continuously, displaying the scenes of 10 battles from front to back. All of them were resolved in a crushing manner. My God! A total of 6 5th-level Divine Lord existences were killed. There are 18 4th-level Divine Lords. Horrifying, too horrifying. What kind of contribution is this? The barbarians' losses are heavy. This kind of contribution can directly be conferred as marquee, right? Many people roared loudly, seriously too shocked. Good, good, good. That old man from the military council had incomparably bright eyes. At the same time, he was also incomparably shocked in his heart. This kind of battle achievement was simply even greater than a certain army. For example, the barbarian exterminating 8th Army and the like. Each time they came to submit their contributions, the number of enemies killed would not be this many. It was even a lot less. The contributions that Lu Ming accumulated were simply terrifying. It's fake. It's fake. Everything is fake. At this time, Lin Kuei roared loudly. He stared at Lu Ming with reddened eyes and roared loudly, Lu Ming, how dare you? To actually dare tamper with the rest reflection stone. Those scenes earlier must be fake. That old man from the military council frowned slightly. He already checked earlier. The rest reflection stone was absolutely not tampered with. Those were all real. This old man has checked. Those are all real. The old man from the military council opened his mouth. Impossible, senior. You must have been deceived by him. It must be fake. It can't be real. Lin Kuei roared loudly. Chapter 3481. Lin Kuei was completely filled with jealousy. How could he think of anything else? He firmly believed that Lu Ming's rest reflection stone was fake. He's just a new student of the Great Void Imperial Academy. How could there be so many experts behind him? Moreover, they are all 7th-level Divine Lord experts. Even if he faked it, he didn't make it more realistic. A 7th-level Divine Lord is an overlord. Why would they submit to him? Who does he think he is? Lin Kuei continued to roar. Many people's eyes flickered, feeling that what Lin Kuei said made sense. What kind of person was a 7th-level Divine Lord? That was someone who could become a heavenly king. If he joined the army, he would be a legion commander of a certain army. How could such a person submit to a young man? Moreover, a young man who had just joined the Great Void Imperial Academy? Was this possible? Lu Ming, you're audacious. You even dare to fake your military achievements. I suspect that your promotion to the general's residence was also fake. Despicable and shameless. How can someone like you be worthy of being called a genius? What a joke, what a joke. Lin Kuei continued to roar. He was certain that Lu Ming was faking it. If what Lu Ming said was true, then what he said previously was a slap to his own face. It was a slap to his face. You think it's fake just because you say so? I'll say that you're faking it. Lu Ming curled his lips in disdain. I faked it? Ha ha ha, this is ridiculous. Let the truth speak for itself. Let's see if the abilities of my subordinates are the same as what is shown on the resting shadow stone. Show it to him. Lu Ming, open your eyes wide and take a good look. After saying that, Lin Kuei gave his subordinates a look. Boom, boom. Suddenly, a terrifying aura burst out, and a horrifying pressure filled the hall. Lin Ke brought 8 subordinates and released their auras completely. 1 4th-level Divine Lord, 3 3rd-level Divine Lords, and 4 2nd-level Divine Lords. There's no mistake. It's the same as on the Rest Reflection Stone. It's indeed the same. Lin Ke is really amazing. He actually has so many powerful subordinates. This is normal. Lin Ke's talent is amazing. He reached the 9th-level Divine King realm at a young age. His future is limitless. Naturally, many experts will submit to him in advance so that they can be put in an important position in the future. Many people nodded and discussed. Do you see that? This is genuine strength. If you have the ability, then let those monkeys behind you show their strength. Do you dare? Lin Ke stared at Lu Ming and said, "Since you must see it, then let's see it." Lu Ming said indifferently and waved his hand slightly. This time, Lu Ming brought a total of 6 Dark Ape Battle Tribe members with him. With a wave of Lu Ming's hand, 3 Dark Ape Fighting Tribe members immediately stepped forward. As they stepped forward, a terrifying aura erupted from their bodies like a volcanic eruption. Lin Ke and his men's faces changed drastically when they were hit by this aura. They couldn't help but retreat. 5th-level Divine Lord. These 3 Dark Ape Battle Clan members were all 5th-level Divine Lords. Damn it! How is this possible? Lin Ke roared in his heart, his eyeballs almost popping out. But in the next moment, 2 more auras rose. 2 more Dark Ape Battle Tribe members revealed their auras. These 2 auras were even more terrifying. Each of them was like a dominator that suppressed all directions, causing the entire hall to tremble slightly. Many people had difficulty breathing and almost vomited blood from the pressure. 6th-level Divine Lords. These 2 Dark Ape Battle Tribe members were 6th-level Divine Lords. Blind little bastard, look carefully. At this time, the Dark Ape Battle Tribe members spoke coldly. Then, a violent aura erupted. When this aura appeared, the Grand Council's hall shook violently. Many people's faces turned pale as if a huge planet was pressing on them. Some people with weaker cultivation almost knelt down. Oh my God! It's really a 7th-level Divine Lord. There's no mistake. 7th-level Divine Lord. Everything on the resting Shadow Stone is real. This is too heaven-defying. Lu Ming actually has such terrifying subordinates. Incomparably shocked voices rang out. As for Lin Ke, his face was even paler and his eyes were filled with disbelief. No, how is this possible? How is this possible? Lin Ke muttered to himself, unable to accept this fact. Now, have you seen it clearly? Lu Ming looked at Lin Ke indifferently. Huff, huff. Lin Ke desperately took in breaths to calm himself down. After a few breaths, Lin Ke regained his composure. After all, he was a prodigy of a generation. His wisdom was outstanding, and he quickly adjusted. Then, he cupped his fists at the Dark Ape Battle Tribe members and said respectfully, "Seniors, I was blind just now and did not recognize Mount Tai. Now, I apologize here." Humph. The Dark Ape Battle Tribe members snorted coldly and ignored him. Everyone thought that Lin Ke was afraid, which was why he apologized. Unexpectedly, he changed his tone and said, "Now, I sincerely invite all of you to join me. I will not treat you unfairly." What? Many people were stunned, including Lu Ming himself. He's trying to poach them, and he's doing it so openly. Previously, he mocked the Dark Ape Battle Tribe members, and now he's trying to poach them again. Lu Ming was impressed by Lin Ke's shamelessness. As the saying goes, a fine bird breaks a tree to perch. Powerhouses with abilities like yours don't have to suffer under Lu Ming. Why don't you join a genius with a brighter future? That's a good plan. Seniors, what do you think? Lin Ke continued to speak with a proud expression. Hee. Lu Ming laughed in disdain. Did I say something wrong? Lin Ke's gaze was like lightning as he stared at Lu Ming and said, "Only a stronger prodigy with better talent can go further and stand at the peak with a better future. Only by joining a better prodigy can you have a better future. Am I wrong?" Lin Ke asked continuously. "Do you mean that you're a stronger prodigy with better talent?" Lu Ming said. Lu Ming, I know that you're ranked third in this batch of Great Void Imperial Academy, and I'm ranked third in the previous batch of Great Void Imperial Academy. However, you have to realize that not every batch of Great Void Imperial Academy prodigies are born as a peerless prodigy. Some batches can be called the Golden Generation, while some batches can be called the Rotten Generation. Even if you're ranked first in a bad batch, you probably won't even make it into the top 10 in a good batch. Even if you're ranked the same in different batches, your talent may be worlds apart. Although you and I are both ranked third, our talents are worlds apart. Do you understand? Lin Ke said loudly. Obviously, he was very confident. He felt that his cohort was the Golden Generation and was much more powerful than Lu Ming's. Even if they were both ranked third, he was far above Lu Ming. Hee, only 3 of the 9 general stars made it, and you still have the cheek to brag. Lu Ming smiled disdainfully. What did you say? Lin Ke said coldly. Then, a violent aura burst out. It was the aura of a peak divine king, suppressing Lu Ming. Chapter 3482. Lin Ke's aura pressed down on Lu Ming, but to Lu Ming, it was like a spring breeze. Boom! Lin Ke's aura grew stronger and stronger, and his body exuded an ancient aura. Third awakening of origin divine power factor. Lu Ming's lips curled into a disdainful smile. Lu Ming, I challenge you now. Do you dare to fight me? Lin Ke shouted. Not interested. Lu Ming said indifferently. He was really not interested. Although Lin Ke's cultivation had reached the peak of the Supreme God realm, his origin divine power factor had only awakened 3 times. Such strength was common in the primitive divine spirit world. To Lu Ming, he was not interested in it at all. He then turned to the elder in the Grand Council and asked, Senior, is the inspection done? Yes, I will report it. With your contribution, you can be promoted to the Marquis Mansion. Go back and wait for the news. The elder in the Grand Council said, Okay, goodbye. Lu Ming cupped his fists and turned to leave with Yuan Tsong and the others. Stop right there, you bastard. Didn't you hear what I said? In a flash, Lin Ke appeared in front of Lu Ming and said in a low voice. The strength of Yuan Tsong and the others made him very excited. Moreover, since Yuan Tsong and the others were willing to side with Lu Ming, it meant that they could also side with others. Today, he wanted to trample on Lu Ming and let Yuan Tsong and the others see what a real genius was. Then, he would take them under his wing. With a subordinate like Yuan Tsong, it would not be impossible for him to be promoted to the Heavenly King Mansion. A cold light flashed in Lu Ming's eyes. Although he was not interested in accepting Lin Ke's challenge, he did not mind giving him a beating since Lin Ke kept provoking him. Make your move. Lu Ming said indifferently. Kill. As soon as the words left Lu Ming's mouth, Lin Ke attacked. As soon as he attacked, he used his essence secret magic. A bronze pagoda rapidly expanded in size as it shot toward Lu Ming. Lin Ke used his full strength. He wanted to beat Lu Ming down in one move and suppress Lu Ming. The bronze pagoda quickly approached Lu Ming's head. Why isn't Lu Ming fighting back? It's obvious that Lin Ke is too strong. His powerful strength has already locked onto Lu Ming, making it difficult for him to move. The outcome has been decided. Lu Ming is still too young. Lin Ke is from the previous batch of students of the Great Void Imperial Academy. Thoughts flashed through many people's minds, thinking that the outcome had already been decided. At this moment, Lu Ming made his move. It was a very simple punch. With this punch, Lu Ming activated the battle character art and quadrupled his battle prowess. He also used the heavenly demon golden body, and the 12 types of god force in his body surged madly. Boom! In the next moment, Lu Ming's fist landed on the bronze pagoda. How dare you use your fist to attack my essence secret magic? You overestimate yourself. Break! Lin Ke roared in his heart. A ferocious light flashed in his eyes. He wanted to shatter Lu Ming's fist in one move. However, in the next moment, his expression changed drastically. When Lu Ming's fist landed on the bronze pagoda, he felt an extremely terrifying force erupt. The bronze pagoda shook violently and then exploded with a bang. Lin Ke screamed as his body flew backward. He spat out large mouthfuls of blood in the air. However, Lu Ming did not stop there. With a flash, he appeared above Lin Ke and stomped down on Lin Ke's face. With a bang, Lin Ke fell to the ground like a dead fish. Lu Ming stepped on his face with an indifferent expression. The main hall was silent. Everyone watched in a daze. Their eyes were wide open and their faces were filled with disbelief. Lin Ke was defeated, and he was defeated in an instant. He was defeated in one move. How was this possible? It was like a dream. Under Lu Ming's foot, Lin Ke was like a dead dog, roaring and struggling frantically. Miserable. It was too miserable. Just a moment ago, he was arrogant and insufferably arrogant. He thought that he was a genius and the representative of the golden generation. Even Lu Ming, who was ranked third, could not compare to him. He was extremely confident. However, reality was like a slap to his face. He was defeated in an instant by Lu Ming. He was a student of the previous batch of the Great Void Imperial Academy and ranked third. He was also one of the 9 generals. However, he was defeated in an instant by Lu Ming. Lu Ming did not even use his essence secret magic. No, he did not believe that this was real. He would rather believe that this was a nightmare. Unfortunately, the feeling of the soles of the shoes rubbing against his face told him that this was real. This was reality. You said so much nonsense just now, but you're right about one thing. Even if the rankings are the same, the talents of different batches will be worlds apart. Indeed, you're right, Lu Ming said indifferently. Wasn't that so? Compared to Lu Ming, Lin Ke was worlds apart. Blood spurted out of Lin Ke's mouth because of anger. This. Lin Ke's subordinates were all stunned. In their eyes, Lin Ke was already a peerless genius with a limitless future. In the future, he would definitely become a top figure in the Taishu dynasty. They had followed Lin Ke for a long time and would definitely be in a high position in the future. But now, compared to Lu Ming, Lin Ke was nothing. He was trash. The difference was too great. It was a complete contrast. Lin Ke had cultivated for so many years more than Lu Ming, but he was still defeated in an instant by Lu Ming. There was no comparison. Lin Ke's 7 subordinates looked at each other and then nodded silently. Suddenly, they rushed out and bowed to Lu Ming. Lu Ming's talent is unparalleled. The few of us would like to submit to young Master Lu Ming and serve young Master Lu Ming. We hope that young Master Lu Ming can fulfill our wish. What? This dramatic scene stunned everyone at the scene. You. Lin Ke roared as if he had gone crazy. Then, he vomited another mouthful of blood. Lin Ke had said before that a good bird would break a tree to perch. That was indeed the case. Now, his subordinates had all submitted to Lu Ming. Seeing that you guys are quite sincere, I'll agree. Lu Ming nodded. The 7 of them were not weak. They were all second-level divine lords and above. In the Taishu dynasty, they would definitely be considered experts. There was no reason for him not to accept them. Although he had the Dark Ape fighting tribe, the more experts he had, the better. All right, follow me to the place where I live, Lu Ming said casually. Then, he strode out and ignored Lin Quebec. Soon, Lu Ming and the rest disappeared. Only Lin Ke was left lying on the ground alone. Lu Ming, I'll make sure you die a horrible death. Lin Ke roared in his heart. Today, he was really miserable. Not only had he been slapped in the face repeatedly, but he had also lost his subordinates. This news would soon spread throughout the Taishu holy capital, and he would become a laughing stock. It would not be long before he could no longer be one of the 9 generals. His hatred for Lu Ming was overwhelming. Chapter 3483. Lu Ming and the others returned to their residence and waited. However, they did not have to wait for long. 3 days later, a piece of news came from the Grand Council. Lu Ming was conferred the title of Hidden Dragon Marquis. His clan residence was also upgraded to Marquis Residence, and he was also given a Marquis Residence. This caused a huge commotion in the holy capital. Lu Ming had become a Marquis. This could be said to be the youngest Marquis in history. Lin Ke was also conferred the title of Marquis, but it did not cause any commotion. Instead, it was treated as a joke. This mansion is quite big, isn't it? Lu Ming stood in front of a residence and smiled. There were 5 words written on the residence: Hidden Dragon Marquis Residence. In the Taishu dynasty, anyone who became a marquis or a heavenly lord would be given a residence in the holy capital by the imperial family. This was the residence given to Lu Ming by the imperial family. It was very spacious and took up an astonishing amount of space. There were layers upon layers of buildings, and one could not see the end of it. It could even house an army. Lu Ming walked around the residence and was very satisfied. Then, he brought his people and stayed there. At the same time, he hired a group of people to take care of the marquis residence. Lu Ming had become a marquis, and the news of Lu Ming and Lin Kei's battle quickly spread throughout the holy capital. It pushed Lu Ming's reputation to the top. The youngest marquis and Lin Kei was defeated in seconds. This was too shocking. Lu Ming was a new batch of students, and he could defeat Lin Kei in seconds. Although Lin Kei was the last of the 9 general stars, it was enough to prove that Lu Ming was qualified to be one of the 9 general stars. Such a young general star was amazing. But soon, the rumors about Lu Ming died down. This was because an even bigger event was about to happen in the Taishu dynasty. It was the birthday of the Holy Emperor, which was 10 stellar years. At the Divine Lord realm, one could only live for 10 stellar years at most, and this was only in theory. In fact, many Divine Lords would perish from the exhaustion of their souls before even reaching 10 stellar years. It was already extremely rare for the current Sacred Emperor to live for 10 stellar years. Therefore, this birthday celebration would be extremely grand. At that time, apart from the generals guarding the borders of the Taishu dynasty, almost all of the big and small powers would be there. All the heavenly kings, marquises, and generals would gather at the Great Void Sage capital to celebrate the Sage Emperor. Lu Ming originally wanted to return to the Hidden Dragon Star, but after hearing this news, he decided not to go back for the time being. This was because there were only 5 years left until the Sacred Emperor's birthday. During this period of time, the number of people in the holy capital had gradually increased. Many people from various forces had already arrived in advance. If he went back, he would have to make a trip back here. Therefore, Lu Ming decided to stay here for the time being and return to the Hidden Dragon Star after the Saint Emperor's birthday celebration. Anyway, 5 years was just a blink of an eye to them. The entire holy capital was discussing the Sacred Emperor's birthday celebration. In addition, they were discussing another matter, which was who would inherit the throne in the future. The Sacred Emperor's lifespan had already reached 10 stellar years. If he did not break through, this lifespan was almost the limit. He would not be able to live for long before he died. However, breaking through was as difficult as ascending to the heavens. One had to know that the Sacred Emperor's cultivation had already reached the limit of a Divine Lord. However, it was extremely difficult to advance any further. In the history of the Taishu dynasty, no one had achieved this. Therefore, the probability of this happening was extremely small. Once the Sage Emperor perished, who would inherit the position of Sage Emperor? The Crown Prince? Or the Second Prince? The Crown Prince was undoubtedly the legitimate successor. However, the Second Prince was very outstanding in all aspects. He was vaguely above the Crown Prince and had many supporters. Therefore, the final result was unpredictable. In the blink of an eye, Lu Ming had been in the Great Void Sage capital for half a year. One day, a person that Lu Ming did not expect came to the holy capital and looked for Lu Ming. Shenhuang, why are you here? Lu Ming was surprised and then overjoyed. Lu Shenhuang had come. Lu Ming had not seen Lu Shenhuang in a long time. After so many years, Lu Shenhuang's temperament had become even more restrained. Lu Shenhuang had been accompanying Lu Ming's parents and his wife all these years. He had not gone out to fight, nor had he had any fortuitous encounters. However, with the help of some resources that Lu Ming had given him, his cultivation had improved very quickly. Lu Ming could tell at a glance that Lu Shenhuang's cultivation had reached the peak of the 9th level of the True God realm. Lu Shenhuang had also cultivated the universe myriad Tao art and could control many kinds of divine power. Without any fortuitous encounters, it was already very good for him to have such a cultivation. Father, I'm here to see grandfather and grandmother. Back then, you sent people to take them away, but there was no reply after so many years. I was a little worried, so I came to see them. Lu Shenhuang said. What? I took father and mother away? Hearing this, Lu Ming's heart skipped a beat and his expression changed drastically. He had not sent anyone to take Lu Yuntian and Li Ping away. How could Lu Shenhuang say that he had sent people to take them away? Seeing Lu Ming's expression, Lu Shenhuang felt that something was wrong and hurriedly asked, Father, did you not send people to take grandfather and grandmother away? No. Lu Ming's heart sank and his expression turned ugly. Shenhuang, what's going on? When did this happen? Tell me in detail. Lu Shenhuang also knew the severity of the situation and hurriedly explained in detail. About 100 years ago, a young woman came to find us and said that she was father's friend. Father had already settled down in the Taishu dynasty and wanted to take grandfather and grandmother over. Lu Shenhuang said, How can you so easily believe a stranger's words? Lu Ming said somewhat anxiously, That woman said that she was father's friend and that they had a good relationship. She even took out a rest image stone with images of father and Annie Autumn together. Only then did we believe her. Lu Shenhuang said, What? She had images of us together? Lu Ming's expression darkened. That meant that she must be someone that Lu Ming knew. What's her name? Lu Ming asked. She said she was Cui Wei. Lu Shenhuang said, Cui Wei, it's her. Lu Ming's eyes emitted shocking murderous intent. He had never thought that this person would be Cui Wei. When he and Annie Autumn had just entered the Taishu Imperial Sacred Courtyard, Cui Wei had approached him and made friends with him. Later, Lu Ming had fought in the Third King God Realm area of the Purgatory Arena and had been hunted down by experts. At that time, Lu Ming had suspected Cui Wei. He suspected that Cui Wei had approached him on purpose and leaked information about him. Since then, Cui Wei had less contact with him. He had never thought that she would deceive his parents. Now that he thought about it, Cui Wei had approached them with malicious intentions. She had secretly recorded the images of them together with the rest image stone. Damn it. Shenhuang, draw a portrait of that woman for me to see. Lu Ming ordered. All right. Lu Shenhuang nodded. At their level, they had a photographic memory. It was easy for them to spend an hour on a painting. If they were in the secular world, they would be top-notch painters. Chapter 3484. Not long after, the portrait of a woman appeared on the paper. This woman was Cui Wei, whom Lu Ming knew. Damn it! Lu Ming growled. Father, do you know this woman? Lu Shenhuang asked. I do, but this person is very likely my enemy. Lu Ming said gloomily. What? Not good. Lu Shenhuang's expression changed. With her cultivation, it would be easy for her to kill you, but she didn't kill you and only tricked father and mother away. It's obvious that she wants to use father and mother to threaten me. Thus, father and mother's safety shouldn't be a problem. Lu Ming muttered as he quickly analyzed the situation in his mind. Since the other party could find Lu Yuntian and Li Ping and had amazing strength, it would be too easy for her to kill them. However, she only tricked Lu Yuntian and Li Ping away. It was obvious that the other party wanted to control Lu Yuntian and Li Ping so that they could be used to threaten Lu Ming at a critical moment. Who is it? The Crown Prince or the State Preceptor? Or some other force? Lu Ming's mind raced, but he couldn't find any clues at the moment. Cui Wei, I'm going to find out who you are. Lu Ming growled. Soon, Lu Ming began to investigate. He used all the forces at his disposal to investigate Cui Wei's background. But the result was a blank. In the end, he only found out that Cui Wei had been very close to a young man in the Great Void Imperial Academy, and that young man belonged to the State Preceptor's residence. State Preceptor. Lu Ming's eyes burst with shocking killing intent. Boom. Lu Ming soared into the sky, his violent aura filling the air. His cold killing intent was like a tide. No one could touch his family or his parents. Otherwise, no matter who it was, he would make them pay the price, even if it was the State Preceptor. Lu Ming, don't be rash. Blue Merchant's figure appeared in front of Lu Ming, blocking Lu Ming's path. I'm going to the State Preceptor's residence. Lu Ming said word by word. Lu Ming, don't be fooled. This is what the other party wants. You barged into the Imperial Advisor's residence without any evidence. The other party can treat you as a traitor and kill you directly. This is what the imperial advisor wants. Blue Merchant hurriedly said. Each of Blue Merchant's words contained the power of his soul. They bombarded Lu Ming's soul, causing Lu Ming's soul to tremble. Slowly, Lu Ming calmed down. He knew that what Blue Merchant said made sense. If it was the state preceptor, then the other party would just wait for Lu Ming to kill his way to the door. The other party was an important figure of the Taishu dynasty. If someone were to kill his way to the door, he could be treated as a traitor and killed on the spot. Lu Ming would definitely be killed by the imperial preceptor if he went there. There was no doubt about it. Lan Shu, what should we do now? Lu Ming took a deep breath. He was a little flustered now. Go find the sage emperor and let him uphold justice. But before that, you have to go find holy old heavenly king. It'll be difficult for you to meet the sage emperor. Blue Merchant said, Okay, but I don't know where holy old heavenly king is. Lu Ming said, The sage emperor's birthday is approaching. Holy old heavenly king has already arrived. He's in my small courtyard. Let's go together. Blue Merchant said. Without the slightest delay, not long after, they arrived at Lan Shang's small courtyard and met with old heavenly king Thousand Saints. Holy old heavenly king agreed without hesitation when he heard this. He led Lu Ming to the sage emperor's palace. Blue Merchant did not go. His identity was sensitive, and it was inconvenient for him to meet the sage emperor. Holy old heavenly king had an extremely high status in the Taishu dynasty. In terms of cultivation, he was at the pinnacle of the Taishu dynasty. Naturally, he was unimpeded. With holy old heavenly king's appearance, the sage emperor quickly agreed to meet Lu Ming. The sage emperor sat high up in the meeting hall of the sage emperor's palace. After not seeing him for a while, the sage emperor seemed to have aged a little. He looked a little lethargic. After all, the sage emperor was too old. It was rare for him to be able to live until now. Brother holy old heavenly king, why are you looking for me? The sage emperor asked with a smile. Although holy old heavenly king was very senior and old, he was still younger than the sage emperor. However, they were of the same generation. So the sage emperor addressed holy old heavenly king as old heavenly king. Sage emperor, I'm here for Lu Ming. Lu Ming is looking for you. Holy old heavenly king said, Lu Ming? Why are you looking for this sage emperor? The sage emperor looked at Lu Ming. The sage emperor remembered Lu Ming. Lu Ming's performance at the Taishu Imperial Academy was stunning. At the same time, he asked him to save the Blue Merchant. Thus, he remembered Lu Ming. At the same time, Lu Ming was the youngest marquis of the Taishu dynasty. He had also approved of Lu Ming. How could he not know him? Sage Emperor, I want to sue the state preceptor. He sent people to kidnap my parents. I don't know where they are now. Sage Emperor, please ask the state preceptor to release my parents. Lu Ming reported. What? There's such a thing? The sage emperor frowned. A cold light flashed in his eyes, and a terrifying pressure immediately spread out in the hall. Amazing! Lu Ming's heart skipped a beat. At this moment, the Saint Emperor did not seem like an old man, but a ferocious beast that could destroy the world. But this energy only lasted for a moment, and the sage emperor returned to his old appearance. Come, summon the state preceptor. Yes, someone outside the hall immediately obeyed. Not long after, a guard came in and reported, Your Majesty, the Crown Prince and Second Prince request an audience. The two of them are quite well informed. Let them in. The sage emperor said. A while later, the Crown Prince and Second Prince entered the hall. After bowing to the sage emperor, they stood on either side. The Crown Prince swept his gaze over Lu Ming. There was a cold glint in his eyes. A while later, the state preceptor arrived. Paying respects to your majesty. For what reason has your majesty summoned me? The state preceptor bowed. State preceptor, Lu Ming said that you imprisoned his parents. Is this true? The sage emperor asked. What? Imprisoned his parents? Your majesty, there is no such thing. This is slander. The state preceptor hurriedly protested. Slander? Wu Hua, you know very well whether this is slander or not. Let me ask you, Is Chui Wei a member of the state preceptor's residence? Lu Ming said loudly. Wu Hua was the state preceptor's name. Chui Wei? What Chui Wei? I don't know her at all. Lu Ming, speak clearly. Otherwise, I won't let you off. The state preceptor's face was extremely gloomy. That's right. Lu Ming, make things clear, the sage emperor said. Afterward, Lu Ming recounted the ins and outs of the matter in detail. Ha ha ha, what a joke. Just because of a girl, you say that I captured your parents. What a joke. Also, I don't know that girl called Chui Wei. The state preceptor laughed. Wu Hua, you suspected that I killed your son and wanted to kill me, but you didn't. You held a grudge and wanted to use my parents to threaten me. Is that right? Lu Ming said loudly. Impudent. You are slandering me. Your Majesty, please uphold justice. The state preceptor said to the sage emperor. Summon Wu Han. We will know once we ask him. The sage emperor said. Wu Han was the young man that Lu Ming found to be close to the state preceptor's residence. Chapter 3485. Soon, a young man was brought in. This young man was Wu Han. When he came here and saw so many big shots, he was scared witless. When he heard the reason why he was summoned, he was so scared that his face turned pale. He knelt on the ground and cried, Your Majesty, I've been wronged. I haven't known Chui Wei for long. We didn't know each other before. More than 100 years ago, Chui Wei deliberately approached me, so we got to know each other. And in the last 100 years, Chui Wei disappeared. I can't find her. If your Majesty doesn't believe me, you can search my soul. If you want to search my soul, please search my soul. Your Majesty, everything is clear now. Chui Wei approached Wu Han on purpose to frame the imperial advisor's residence. I even suspect that there was no such thing. It was all planned by Lu Ming. He probably wants to frame me. Your Majesty, please uphold justice. The imperial advisor immediately said loudly. Damn it, Lu Ming cursed in his heart. He didn't expect this result. Chui Wei hadn't known Wu Han for long. Obviously, Chui Wei wasn't from the imperial advisor's residence. It seemed like someone wanted to frame the imperial advisor's residence. Who was it? With all the clues gone, Lu Ming's face turned ugly. His heart was in a mess. Your Majesty, Lu Ming is slandering you. He can simply find a reason to slander the state preceptor. If everyone imitates him, the world will be in chaos. Your Majesty, please punish Lu Ming and imprison him for a stellar year as a warning to others. The imperial advisor immediately seized the opportunity to counter Lu Ming. Father, the imperial advisor is right. The imperial advisor is an important official of the sacred dynasty. How can he be slandered so easily? Moreover, he deliberately came to you to do so. Such a person must not be tolerated. Father, please punish him. The crown prince also stepped out. No, Your Majesty. Lu Ming's parents are indeed missing and imprisoned. He only did this because he wanted to save his parents. He didn't commit any major crime. Please forgive him, Your Majesty. Thousand Saint Old Heavenly King immediately said, Yes, Father. Lu Ming is still young. With his parents imprisoned, it's inevitable that he would be in a mess. Please give him a chance. The second prince also stepped out. Your Majesty, we don't know whether his parents are imprisoned or not. However, we can't forgive him for slandering the imperial advisor. Otherwise, how can we deter the world in the future? Everyone will follow suit. What prestige will the imperial family have? The crown prince immediately. Lu Ming, on the other hand, remained silent. The sage emperor frowned. Indeed, slandering the state preceptor was a serious matter. Furthermore, the other party had even dared to come to him to do so. Your Majesty, Your Majesty, the imperial advisor's imperial advisor. What? The emperor asked. It will be the Saint Emperor's birthday in less than 5 years. At that time, it will also be the date of the agreement between the Saint Emperor and Saint Emperor Tianyi. Both parties will send out their most powerful geniuses, and the outcome will be determined in one battle. As long as Your Majesty wins, you will be able to obtain the soul-nourishing flower from Saint Emperor Tianyi and extend Your Majesty's lifespan. I suggest that Lu Ming participate in this battle. If he can help your majesty win and obtain the soul-nourishing flower, he can make up for his mistakes and be pardoned for his crimes this time. Good, good. This is wonderful. The emperor nodded repeatedly. Your majesty, you can't do that. Lu Ming's cultivation is still weak. He hasn't cultivated for long. How can he defeat those strongest geniuses? Letting Lu Ming participate in the battle is sending him to his death. Wu Fan has ulterior motives. Thousand Holy King immediately shouted. The barbarian tribe was to the southwest of the Taishu dynasty. To the north of the Taishu dynasty, there was another powerful country called the Tianyi Sacred Dynasty. The Tianyi Sacred Dynasty was about as powerful as the Taishu dynasty. The relationship between the two countries was sometimes good and sometimes bad. Sometimes there was war, and sometimes there was cooperation. One stellar year ago, the current Imperial Emperor and Tianyi Sacred Emperor had an agreement. On the 10th stellar year of the current Imperial Emperor, the two sides would send their strongest geniuses to fight each other. The loser would give the loser a supreme treasure. If Taishu's Sacred Emperor lost, he would give the loser a divine void pearl. The divine void pearl was unique to the Taishu dynasty. It was extremely helpful for the cultivation of the divine lord realm. It was a supreme treasure. And if Tianyi Sacred Emperor lost, he would give Taishu's Sacred Emperor a soul-nourishing flower. Similarly, the soul-nourishing flower was also a supreme treasure. As the name suggested, it could nourish and nourish the soul, allowing the withered soul to be filled with vitality again. It was a supreme treasure for those who were about to die. It could increase their lifespan. For Taishu's Sacred Emperor, he had used all kinds of treasures that could increase his lifespan. Those treasures were no longer effective for him. However, the soul-nourishing flower was still effective for him. It could at least increase his lifespan by half a stellar year. Half a stellar year was 5 billion years. With such a long time, he might really be able to find a way to break through to a new realm and increase his lifespan. Therefore, Taishu's Sacred Emperor was determined to get the soul-nourishing flower. However, this battle was a battle between the strongest geniuses from both sides, such as the 9 great generals. After all, Lu Ming had only cultivated for a short time. How could he fight against such geniuses? Although Lu Ming had defeated Lin Ke was ranked last among the 9 great generals. Moreover, Holy Thousand-Old Heavenly King was sure that the Grand Tutor did not have good intentions when he made this suggestion. What's a little danger when serving your majesty? What I mean is that Lu Ming must play a decisive role in this meeting. He can't just be a bystander. Only then can he be pardoned. Otherwise, he must be severely punished. Grand Tutor said, "All right, I agree." At this moment, Lu Ming spoke with a determined expression. Lu Ming, Holy Thousand-Old Heavenly King, was stunned and did not say anything else. "All right, let's do it then," Sacred Emperor said. Beside him, Grand Tutor and the Crown Prince were overjoyed. "Your Majesty, Lu Ming has a request." Lu Ming said again. "What request?" Taishu's Sacred Emperor asked. "Your Majesty, if Lu Ming can obtain the soul-nourishing flower for your Majesty, please do your best to find the culprit who imprisoned my parents." Lu Ming said. He had agreed so readily because he wanted to use the Taishu's Sacred Emperor's power to investigate his parents' whereabouts. The Taishu's Sacred Emperor's power was not something he could compare to. If the Taishu's Sacred Emperor sent someone to investigate, he believed that there would be results soon. "All right, if you can really help me obtain the soul-nourishing flower, I will agree to any conditions." "All right, that's all for today. You may all leave. I want to rest." Taishu's Sacred Emperor waved his hand. Then, Lu Ming and the others took their leave. After some time, in the Hidden Dragon Duke's residence. "Lu Ming, I'm afraid the Grand Tutor doesn't have good intentions when he asked you to participate in the competition. I'm guessing that he will arrange for someone to harm you during the competition," Blue Merchant said with a frown. "If they really do harm to me, I'll kill them all." A cold light flashed in Lu Ming's eyes. "I still can't be careless. You should know that Lin Ke is ranked last among the 9 general stars and is also the weakest, especially those who are ranked at the top. I heard that some of them have already entered the Divine Lord realm. Once they enter the Divine Lord realm, they will be extremely terrifying," Blue Merchant said. Chapter 3486. Lu Ming nodded. Blue Merchant's meaning was simple. If the Taishu dynasty had such a powerful person, the Tianyi sacred dynasty must have one too. Although Lu Ming could fight against a second-level divine lord with his full combat strength, it was only against ordinary second-level divine lords. The 9 general stars were all top geniuses. Once they entered the divine lord realm, they would be terrifying. Their combat strength could not be measured by common sense. There are still 5 years left. I will improve my strength in these 5 years. Lu Ming's gaze was firm. He would get the soul-nourishing flower for the sacred emperor and ask the sacred emperor to investigate his parents. No matter who you are, if you hurt my parents, I will make sure you die a horrible death. I will pay you back 10 times, 100 times. Lu Ming's eyes flashed with murderous intent. Then, after chatting with Blue Merchant for a while, Lu Ming returned to his room and started to cultivate in seclusion. 5 years was too short. Whether it was the divine power of origin, the battle character formula, or the secret skills of origin, there could not be any major breakthroughs. If he wanted to break through, he could only start with his cultivation. Now, his cultivation was in the 8th level of the Divine King realm. He wanted to reach the 9th level of the Divine King realm in 5 years. Normally, it was impossible to reach the 9th level of the Divine King realm from the 8th level of the Divine King realm in 5 years. However, Lu Ming had the measure character formula and countless primordial divine crystals. It was possible. The primordial divine crystals contained a large amount of primordial divine qi. They were very pure and strong. In the past, the primordial divine crystals were absorbed through the ancient god's heart and turned into bloodline power to improve the primordial divine body. Only a small portion was used by Lu Ming to improve his cultivation and turn into divine power. Once it was absorbed and refined by the measure character formula, it could only be turned into energy. It was of no help to the primordial divine body. But now, Lu Ming did not need to improve the primordial divine body. He only needed to improve his cultivation. Therefore, he let the measure character formula absorb it. As Lu Ming's cultivation increased, the measure character formula's refining speed also increased greatly. Moreover, the original divine crystal was easy to absorb. 5 years was enough for Lu Ming to break through to the 9th heaven of the King God realm. Old Liang, I'll leave it to you. Lu Ming sent a voice transmission to the quantifying character art. Then, with a wave of his hand, 10,000 primeval divine crystals flew out. The energy contained within 10,000 primeval divine crystals was already extremely shocking. Lu Ming estimated that it was enough for him to break through. Leave it to me. The voice of the quantifying character formula was heard. Then, a wave of energy swept up the 10,000 primeval divine crystals and began to refine them. Not long after, a trickle of energy flowed into Lu Ming's body. Lu Ming circulated the universe myriad Dao technique and refined it slightly. This energy turned into divine power, strengthening Lu Ming's divine power. Just like that, Lu Ming wholeheartedly cultivated in seclusion. The Crown Prince stood with his hands clasped behind his back in a courtyard of the Crown Prince's mansion. Behind the Crown Prince stood the state preceptor and a young man. If Lu Ming was there, he would definitely recognize that the young man was Dijiani at a glance. Dijiani, your chance is here. This time, Lu Ming will also participate in the battle between the two countries. Haven't you always wanted to kill Lu Ming? This is your chance. The Crown Prince said, I will not miss this chance. Dijiani's eyes shone with cold light. Deep in his eyes, there was a deep desire. Others might not know, but he was very clear that Lu Ming definitely had the origin ancient word on him. He had to get the origin ancient word on Lu Ming. In that case, his strength would be even more shocking. In the future, he would definitely become a top expert in the chaotic universe. The Taishu dynasty was just a stepping stone for him. He had been looking for an opportunity to kill Lu Ming. However, Lu Ming was either not around or surrounded by experts. He had never found an opportunity. There was only one time when he found an opportunity. However, Lu Ming's strength was beyond his expectations. He did not succeed and attracted other experts, causing him to miss the opportunity. This time, he would not miss the opportunity. Dijiani, don't be careless. Lu Ming is very strong. Even Lin Ke was defeated by Lu Ming. The state preceptor warned, Ling Ke, how many people like him can I kill with one sword? Di Jianyi said indifferently. He was full of confidence. All right, there are still 5 years. In these 5 years, I will activate all the resources to help you improve further and kill Lu Ming. However, you have to remember that after you kill Lu Ming, you can only lose in the battle with the Tianyi Holy Dynasty. Do you understand? The Crown Prince said indifferently. His voice was very cold and filled with terrifying pressure. Yes. Di Jianyi's eyes flashed and he bowed to accept the order. Only lose, not win. He knew what the Crown Prince was thinking. The Crown Prince had been in this position for too many years. However, as long as the Taishu Saint Emperor was alive, the Crown Prince would not be able to improve further and sit on the throne. He had been waiting for the Taishu Saint Emperor to die. How could he help the Saint Emperor to extend his life? If the Taishu Saint Emperor obtained the soul-nourishing flower and increased his lifespan by half a stellar year, and then broke through his cultivation, the Crown Prince would not be able to sit on the throne for the rest of his life. The person who did not want the Saint Emperor to obtain the soul-nourishing flower the most was the Crown Prince. State Preceptor, this time, letting Lu Ming participate in the battle between the two countries is not playing with fire, right? The Crown Prince frowned and was a little worried. If Lu Ming really helped the Taishu dynasty to win, wouldn't they be shooting themselves in the foot? Crown Prince, do you think it's possible? The purpose of letting Lu Ming participate this time is to kill him. Of course, what if, and I mean what if, Lu Ming is really not dead? With his strength, how would it affect the overall situation? Isn't everything under the Crown Prince's control? The State Preceptor smiled cunningly. That's right. It seems like I'm overthinking. The Crown Prince smiled. Time flew by. 1 year, 2 years, in the blink of an eye, 5 years had passed. There were 10 more days before the Taishu Saint Emperor's birthday. During this period, the Taishu Saint capital was bustling with activity. 27 Heavenly Kings' residences, a few hundred marquis residences, and a few thousand generals' residences had all arrived. During this period, there were many experts in the Taishu Saint capital. It was possible to meet anyone on the streets who was a divine lord. Of course, the army guarding the border was also on high alert to prevent the barbarian tribe from taking the opportunity to attack. On this day, a powerful aura emanated from the backyard of the hidden Dragon Marquis residence. However, this aura was quickly suppressed. Not long after, a figure stepped out. It was Lu Ming. After 5 years, I finally broke through. Luckily, I made it in time. Lu Ming muttered. Just now, he had finally broken through to the 9th Heaven Divine King realm and entered the ranks of the Peak Divine Kings. The next step was to break through to the Divine Lord realm. Of course, it was not that easy to break through to the Divine Lord realm. He still needed to accumulate. Of course, his various divine powers had awakened 4 times. Compared to others, it was much easier to break through to the Divine Lord realm. As long as he accumulated enough divine powers, it would be a matter of time before he became a Divine Lord. You're tuning in to the Warrior Lore YouTube channel. Don't forget to subscribe and join us on this journey to catch the most captivating stories.